All right, so let's just settle into our meditation posture. And let's just try and settle our minds. We'll try and land before we start the practice. So if you are sitting at a desk and your feet are down on the ground, just make sure you've got something underneath them. Check your sit bones. Make sure you have something firm underneath you. And if your knees are tight and your hips are tight, you're very welcome to put a couple of cushions or yoga blocks or something just to support your knees underneath. Hands are in the meditation mudra, or the thumbs are touching. But if you've been taught meditation and a different kind of technique, and it's more comfortable for you to sit with the palms facing upwards on the knees or downwards on the knees, just for our purposes tonight, it's fine if you just put your hands wherever they're most comfortable. But I say meditation mudra, it's just the way we're taught in this tradition. Make sure your pelvis is upright, shoulders are aligned with the hips. And then also think about aligning your ears with your shoulders. You just kind of glide your ears back. And let's just imagine our spine is a string of pearls of light stretching from the base of the spine all the way up through the crown of the head. You can imagine someone is behind you or above you, just very gently lengthening your spine. Putting some air in between your vertebrae. And as you're just very gently lengthening there, just let all the busyness of today, if you have been busy, just kind of melt away. Take a nice deep breath. Just relax. And the head is slightly tipped forward. The eyes are down, looking along the length of the nose. Tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth. Relax the jaw. And let's just bring our awareness to the crown of the head. And just relax the scalp there, the forehead, the eyes, the nose, the cheeks, the area around the mouth. And bring your awareness to the back of the head and down towards the occipital bone, and just relax that area there. And just notice as you think about relaxing that area, it sort of just radiates out to your jaw and your ears. And your face relaxes yet again. So just release any tension in your neck and shoulders, upper thoracic, in between the shoulder blades. And relax the throat and the chest and the belly, the limbs, the hands, the fingers, and the feet and the toes. I don't know if any of you noticed, but I grip my toes a lot. We do hold a little bit of tension there. So now just think of relaxing your feet and your toes, and bring the mind to the breath. And notice the sensation of the air as it's flowing in through the nostrils as you're inhaling, slightly warmer air as you're exhaling. If there are any sounds in your environment, just allow them to be there. Just let them be part of your meditation space. So just accept them. Try not to investigate or be distracted by them. Keeping the mind on the breath. And then notice the sensation. Notice the thoughts as they're arising, abiding and falling. And try not to engage with the thoughts that are arising in the mind. Maybe something happened today that you're sort of thinking about. Just let it be. And now let's bring to mind the people of our life. First of all, our loved ones. The people our besties, our family, our partners, our children. And the people that we hold dear to our heart. And then there's, they irritate us, we irritate them, we keep them at a distance, we prefer not to speak to them, or maybe we don't at all. We distance ourselves from them. And then there's the strangers, people we're kind of indifferent to. And just remember that at any time in this life and in past lives, the people in these different groups, the friend, the dear ones, the enemy, the people who irritate us, and then our strangers, they can change places at any time. So it's good to remember not to take our loved ones for granted, and to always not have necessarily a fixed view about people's awful qualities because we don't like them at that moment. Or to acknowledge maybe we could think about having equal concern for the stranger who normally we wouldn't think about. Because all these people are the same in their wish to be happy, their wish to avoid suffering, and having this unbelievable potential for enlightenment. So I think tonight we'll do this meditation for all these people in our life, by extension all the sentient beings, and for ourselves as we move along our spiritual path. So just remembering there is no negativity that cannot be purified, and this purification process is basically a psychological one. We create negativity with our mind, so we can change it by creating positivity with our mind instead, which is what we're doing tonight. So we're doing this practice in the context of the 4 opponent powers, and the first of these is the power of regret. So just bring to mind something that may have happened today or this week, and sincerely regret from the depths of the heart anything you've done to harm another living being. Perhaps it was in this life. Maybe there's past lives we don't remember. And think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then just generally regret. These are the things we don't recall. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma. We experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions. So having harmed others, we will necessarily experience suffering in the future. Thus we cannot bear the thought of any more suffering. So what we do, therefore, logically, we would like to pull out these karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us, and we never know when they will ripen. It makes it a little bit scary. So think like this: I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, broken my vows, because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering, and also regret our delusions, our attachment and anger, and all the rest, which are the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech. And think, again, I'm sick of this suffering, so what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So we rely upon we turn to the Buddha, the doctor, who has the methods that we can use to purify. And it's not that we need the Buddha to forgive us, we purify ourselves by relying upon his methods. So you visualize Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. And this translucent, radiant, white light Buddha. And you can also imagine this is the mind of your teacher, your Lama, your trusted mentor, manifesting in this aspect for your benefit. And he's made of radiant, blissful, white light. He's sitting cross-legged on a white lotus, and this lotus, although born out of mud, is untainted by that mud, and it's just like our enlightened potential, although born out of our delusions, is untainted by them. He has this beautiful, radiant face. His eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for us. He has this sweet red mouth, and his hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom. The right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion, and their being crossed represents the union of these two, which symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So we have this little section on compassion. So just to remember, in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, those beings we have harmed and those who have harmed us. So for someone you may have harmed or a sentient being you may have harmed, just bring them to mind and develop a wish in your heart for them to be free from suffering. And the same thing for the people who have harmed you, although a little bit more difficult. Just good to remember that the suffering that they've caused you is going to rebound, and it will end up as being suffering for them in the future. So just try and develop rather than a wish for them to be harmed, also more a sorrow or a sadness for them that they've had the mind to harm you, and then also that they will experience suffering as a result of the harm they caused you. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these sentient beings, and think, I must purify for their sake. So the next is the power of the remedy, and this is the medicine. We're doing the practice and the visualization, we're engaging the mind. So first of all, we purify the body, and imagine Guru Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, very forcefully from his heart, and this sort of arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps coming and pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body. And it leaves your body in the form of inky black liquid, and this pours out of you and it disappears into space, not one atom left, as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mudza vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yata sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mudza vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mudza vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mudza vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified. And think there is no way to do anything other than benefit others now with your body. And the next is a purification of speech. And imagine Guru Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar again from his heart chakra. And it arcs around and forcefully enters your crown, filling your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech. And this overflows quite forcefully and disappears into space. So imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying, talking badly about others behind their backs, and imagine all of this is purified by the powerful nectar filling you as you recite the mantra. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mudza vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mudza vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mudza vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mudza vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mudza vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mudza vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mudza vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible that you could do anything other than benefit others now with your speech. So the moment they hear your voice, your sweet voice, it benefits their mind. So really wish for that. It'd be wonderful to have this quality. So the next is a purification of the mind, and Guru Vajrasattva now very compassionately sends powerful beams of light, this time from his heart chakra. And this light arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So it's just the same as when you walk into a room and you switch on a light. That light instantly dispels the darkness. So it's the same here. The moment the light from Vajrasattva's heart touches your heart, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, all your anger and attachment and neediness and grasping and depression and anxiety and grudges and jealousy and bitterness and wishing to harm, all of this instantly dispelled as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempeyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sudam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mudza Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempeyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sudam Shriyam Guruhum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mudza Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempeyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sudam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mudza Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempeyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sudam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mudza Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempeyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sudam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mudza Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempeyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sudam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mudza Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempeyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sudam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mudza Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe. Excuse me. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of our own suffering, of all of our suffering, and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are totally gone. I think there's no space in your heart now for anything other than love and wisdom and bliss and compassion and kindness. So next we purify the imprints of negativity of the body, the speech and the mind. So we can just do a couple of mantras for each of the visualizations of the body, speech and mind. Or if you wish, you can just imagine light and nectar pouring into you from Guru Vajrasattva's heart, filling you completely and eradicating even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your mind as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempeyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sudam Shriyam Guruhum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mudza Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta me bawa sawasidi me piyata sawa kama sita me Sudam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dudu Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mepiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sudam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dudu Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mepiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sudam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dudu Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mepiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sudam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dudu Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mepiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sudam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dudu Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mepiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sudam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe. Now feel you are completely purified. Not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to omniscience have been removed. And now the power of resolve. This is the fourth step in the purification process, and a really, really crucial one when we make a decision to refrain from harming. And some of you have been working on some things for a while. So first of all, just check your progress and rejoice in any tiny little changes that have happened in a positive direction. So we're just slowly, slowly chipping away at our habits. The habits that, for example, we have the habit to have things fall out of our mouth before we think. Maybe it's harmful to another person. And we don't even know it until maybe they mention something. So we maybe just make a decision to be more careful with our speech, more mindful. And we can do this, check in with ourselves several times a day. Say, oh, I'll check in with myself 4 times a day for a couple of seconds. So however you wish to do it, just don't say, I'm never going to do this again, because perhaps we can't keep that promise to ourselves. So whatever works, everything, as Lama Supreme says, everything exists on the tip of the wish. This aspiration to change. So Guru Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wanting to merge with your mind, melts into a white light and absorbs into you through your crown. It just kind of like melts into you. And think, my Guru's body, speech and mind, and Vajrasattva's body, speech and mind, and my own body, speech and mind are the same thing. And LAMA YESHE used to call this a union oneness. So next, Lama Supreme recommends to meditate on the emptiness of the 3 circles. In emptiness there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma. And there is no negative karma created. So place your mind in that emptiness for a little while, at whatever level you understand emptiness. So you can think maybe everything, all phenomena are empty, they don't exist from their own side. Or you can think that perhaps the way things are appearing to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. Just breaking down our concrete view of the world. So let's just dedicate all the merit, the positive energy you've created this evening, doing this purification to all living beings, thinking, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. And for His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, to the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. And for Lama Zopa Rinpoche, you who uphold the subduer's moral way, who serve as the bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving, and spreading Manjunath's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplishes magnificent prayers, honouring the three jewels, savour of myself and others, your disciples, please live long. And for Lama Ursil, Venerable One, to you whose kindness exceeds that of all the conquerors, for those wanderers in far-off places, especially the West, mindful of your loving concern for us and intentionally descending again into a family of a far distant land, O Lama, we make this request, O Lama, please live long. And for Geshe Shera, beloved teacher leading your students towards wisdom and compassion, explaining through exacting discernment the steps of the graduated path, you are the unequal guide. Please live a long and stable life. And here we are again, gone like a dream. Thank you so very much, everyone. It's so lovely to see you all. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow night. Okay. Lots of love. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.